seashell and simply scrape the parts down to an even thickness. Then by taking and using either a smooth bone or a smooth stone like she's doing right now, she'll buff the outside of the pot until it takes on a very shiny finish. Once that pottery has a week and a half to finish the pots out, it is straightened out. All these little joints that are located on the inside will have to be knocked out. And to knock those out, use a long wooden shaft that has an arrowhead tied onto the end of it. And once you take all the joints from inside the cane, take some sand, put it inside that cane, use a shaft with an in and out motion, you'll clean out the insides of your glow gun. The dart for this style of gun comes from two types of material. The shaft, carved out of yellow locust, a very strong yet flexible wood. The tail that we have, this comes from thistle, a native plant we have in the area today. Dry the thistle out inside its pod like we have back here. Once it becomes dry, you'll take the thistle from the pod, lay it in between the thumb and forefinger, use a piece of hemp, roll the thistle there onto the shaft of this dart. Tie it off to help hold it in place. The glow guns, use them on small game, and the distance one will shoot depends upon the length of it and a person's long game. Later on, we're going to give you a demonstration. All these different size arrowheads, knife blades, and spear points are made out of flint, and flint comes from parts of Kentucky and Tennessee. At one time, both of those states were part of our nation. To make the different size arrowheads, take a large grade of flint like we have here, use a large river stone, strike it against the flint, follow the grade of it, flake off the smaller flakes. Then they'll take and use the end of a deer's antler to help give their arrowhead a general shape. Once the arrowhead has its shape, the men will then take and use the point of a deer's antler. Use that deer's antler, press down along the outside edges. And what that'll do is help take off the fine grades of flint, giving the arrowhead some more permanent shape and sharpness. Our people did use two different styles. The first one is a round shoulder. It's used in hunting. Take that one there, tie it onto the shaft with hemp fibers. Shot into the animal's body, it could easily be removed and reused. Second style is a squared or high shoulder. That one there is used in warfare. You take this one, tie it onto the shaft with animal sinew. Whenever it's shot into the human's body, its sinew will expand once it mixes with blood. It causes the arrowhead there to become loosened from the shaft. So if you did go to pull the shaft of the arrow from the body, you'd wind up leaving that arrowhead on the inside, either having to cut it out or push it on through. Shafts come from mountain cane, and the fletchings, we'll get those from the tail feathers of the wild turkey. On average, you take these fellas here about 15 to 20 minutes to make one of these different size arrowheads. That is working with a good piece of flint. I'll give you a demonstration of the blow gun.
Yeah.
So we have set up here today are built on a smaller scale. The first style is a dead fall, or you might know it better as a bear trap. What the men will do is take some bait, lay the bait in the center of this trap underneath the sharp pointed stick. But whenever a bear will come in through the front, that bear is going to tug upon the bait. And by the bear tugging upon the bait, he will trigger the large log in front here to fall down. And that log will either pin the bear down or break his back. The second style of trap is a fish trap. Dam the river up to a certain point, set this trap in the water with the opening here facing downstream. The fish are going to be made to swim upstream. They'll go on the inside and be kept there by the sharp pointed sticks. The sticks are tied to the inside of the cane by using buckskin. Once that skin becomes wet, it will become flexible, allow the sticks on the inside to sway with the current of the water. So when the fish were needed, just lift up the lid and take out what was to be used. The final trap's a figure 4, and we're using a wild turkey, pheasant, and quail. Take some corn, lay it around on the inside, a bird will enter, rush upon that long stick, that'll break the figure 4, cause the trap to fall, keeping the bird on the inside. Step right across the corn in the meal. Take that corn first and boil it with hickory ash. Hickory ash, where that does a lie, help take the husk off of the corn. She'd wash the corn and drain it. Simply dry it back out, place it into a mortar like she has here, and pound the corn in this fashion. Once she'd finished pounding on the corn, use a loosely woven basket and sift the different sized grains. Larger grains left on the inside, use those just like hominy grits. And the other grains that sift on through, use them just like cornmeal. This would have to be done about 30 minutes before every meal. If you'll notice this cabin that we have set up above, this style of cabin here is a replica from the 1800s period. It's right after the era of the Revolutionary War.
How big they were. There's some scallops.
You see the lawn? There's a, in between the beds there's an area for the lawn. These ladies here today are working with this commercial yarn, and with this material they can do two different styles of weave. The single weave is a simple over and under method, and it gives off the plaid or check designs. The double weave that the ladies work with, very similar to the work you see done on a loom. That style will give off more various patterns and these different designs. These ladies here can easily work with 10 to 200 strands of yarn at one time. And once the works are completed, we mainly use them for belts and sashes. They can be woven together to make smaller blankets or shawls. On average, it'll take about 5 days to finish out one of these woven belts. Right here we have dugout style canoes, and dugouts are made out of yellow pulp. To make these canoes at one time, we would have to use a burning method like you see here. What the men would first do is take red clay, pack it around the base of a tree. Take and set small fires beneath the red clay. The dampness of that clay controlled the burning of the fire, causing it to burn inward instead of upward. Once the tree had fallen, the men will strip all the bark from it. Take red clay again, pack it along the sides like you see here, set small fires on top of that log. Once the small fires burn out, take and use a stone axe. Use this style of axe and chip away the charred areas. Using this method over and over again until they got the depth of the canoe that they wanted.